All right, now Israel is the startup nation, and every day we hear more and more about developments that can change the lives of thousands while earning hefty profits for investors. Well, if you thought that investing in groundbreaking ventures is only possible for millionaires, listen up, because we have news for you. Smart Funding is an Israeli company specializing in business development and fundraising in Israeli ventures that focuses on breakthroughs in the fields of technology, medicine, and green energy, plus real estate, cannabis, and more. In fact, this week, we'll introduce one of the breakthrough companies in the medical field, Ella Pharma, which is developing an innovative treatment that could revolutionize treatments in heart disease, stroke, and ALS. Joining us now to tell us how you can get in on these opportunities is Roy Paul Natan, CEO and co-founder of Ella Pharma. Roy, thank you so much for being with us today. Now you've actually developed or are developing an innovative two-stage treatment for medical problems called necrosis. Can you explain this a little bit for us?
Thank you, first of all, for inviting us. So necrosis is one of the main modes of cell death, which causes due to something attacking the cells that is unnatural. For example, bacteria, virus, lack of oxygen. Something attacks the cell, causing the cell to rupture and then die. Necrosis is involved in many pathological diseases, but only recently it was discovered that it is a regulated process. In the past, it was considered unregulated, so there was no cure for it.
So what's your innovation then? How does that work?
We found that the last mechanism in necrosis is a proteolytic enzyme, which is basically scissor inside the cell. When it gets the signal that something attacks it, it starts cutting proteins inside the cell. We found by chemical molecules that we can stop this process and by that inhibit necrosis. We have done many studies for traumatic brain injury, for acute liver failure, for acute myocardial infarction, which is basically a heart attack. And now we are developing our first drug is for a heart attack. What is happening is, for example, that the heart does not get the blood into the organ. The organ does not get its oxygen, then necrosis happens. So as soon as we involve in the first step, we can inhibit necrosis.
All right, so why, let's talk money. Why invest in Ella Pharma? What's the size of the global cardiovascular market today?
Okay, first of all, the size of the global market is 70 billion that's supposed to reach in 2024.
Wow.
Our technology is over $100 billion. We are talking here about cardiovascular, neurodegenerative disease, diabetic. All of these diseases in their endpoint are due to necrosis. And what we have found that all of them are being treated by our molecule.
All right, so if any of our viewers want to join in your success, how can we do that? What's the minimum buy-in?
The minimum buying is $15,000, and it's by Smart Funding, COIL. This is the website. And I wanted to say one more thing. Necrosis is really a big impact. We can change many lives. For example, we just started to develop a new solution for organ preservation before transplantation. Wow. Only in the United States, 1 out of 5 people in the waiting list dies waiting for an organ.
So this could have, super far-reaching implications.
And this is also a medical device regulatory, which means a much faster ROI for our investors.
All right, Roy, thank you so much. This is so amazing. It's very cool technology. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.